The truth isn't positive or negative. It's just the truth. Now, here's some more of it. This is the Sports Source.
All right, welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by the Topoco Lodge. Folks, if you have never been to the Lodge, you need to visit during the holidays. Just look right there. It is gorgeous. They got the Christmas decorations already up. They really do it up big through all of November and into December. It's a terrific place to be and visit. Even if you're not going to go up there and stay, which I suggest you should, but if you don't and you just want to go up there for a meal, the Topoco Tavern is open. If you just want to stop in for some hot chocolate by the fire, if you want to have a drink at one of their many bars there, Holidays at the Lodge, can't beat it. Check them out this week. Go to topoco.com to learn more. Okay, joined by Ryan Callahan right down there, who covers recruiting for GoVols247.com. This is Bob Hodge, who I know has a question for Ryan in a minute. I want to talk about Tennessee's remaining biggest targets on the board. Ryan, we can see them if we can go to it right here. You gave me your top 5. These are the guys they're chasing. I'm going to quickly throw out the name. You tell me who they are. 30 seconds each because we're behind.
Yeah.
Darnell Washington.
Yeah.
Tell me about him.
So he's listed as an athlete because of how big and freakishly athletic he is, but he's really a tight end. That's what most people are recruiting him to play. He's from Las Vegas. Looks like mostly an SEC battle, despite being way out there. Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, I think 3 of the main contenders. Georgia's looked like the favorite for a long time, but Tennessee still might get his final official visit next month. So if there's a shocker to be had down the stretch, I think that could be one to keep an eye on.
And I noticed that Jim Chaney threw a bunch to the tight ends when he was in town.
6 catches for 70 yards.
Interesting how that works.
Yep.
Yeah. Omari Thomas.
A guy Tennessee's been after for a long time over in Memphis at Briarcrest Christian School. You've missed out on Jay Hardy recently out of Chattanooga, so that makes Omari Thomas that much more important. He's got a teammate and close friend committed to Ole Miss, Jabari Small, who is also worth keeping an eye on. Does Tennessee go after the package deal in hopes of landing a guy like Omari Thomas? But it's looking like a Tennessee, Ole Miss, maybe Texas A&M kind of battle down the stretch, so we'll see how that one goes. But it's a tight one down the stretch, and announcing a decision most likely next month.
All right, Noah Sewell, and that UT over there means he's from Utah. Doesn't mean he's coming to UT.
Yep. You don't see Tennessee go to Utah very much, but this is one they've been in for a while. Another one that Georgia might be the main SEC team to watch, but his brother, Penei Sewell, plays at Oregon as an offensive lineman. So they've got the inside track there, but Tennessee has been in the mix for an official visit. Looks like they still might get one. So, one to at least put in the outside chance category.
I'll allow you to handle the first name of Mr. Jones Bell.
Yeah, Taiu Jones-Bell, and he is from South Florida, committed to Alabama, and actually committed back in May. And at the time, it was even an Alabama-Tennessee battle. And Tennessee hasn't fallen out of that one down the stretch. They had him on an unofficial visit just a few weeks ago. They're going to get an official visit, it looks like, next month, just before the early signing period, unless his official visit to Alabama right before that convinces him to shut it down. So Tennessee is still a legitimate threat there, and as they're still looking for big-time receivers, he looks like one of the more realistic big fish out there.
All right, Tyler Barron right here in town, Knox Catholic.
Yeah, and this one's turned into a little more of a battle than people thought it would be for months. Kentucky might be Tennessee's main competition for him. Ohio State and Oklahoma have also had him on official visits, but Tennessee, Kentucky might be the 2 main contenders, and it looks like he's going to take this one all the way to the first day of the early signing period. And you would have, if you'd said that 6 months ago, I would have said you're crazy, but Tennessee still, I think, the slight favorite there, and at the end of the day, I think that they'll have Kentucky will have a tough time beating them out. But needing an edge rusher, obviously, and a guy like that in state, they've got to win that battle down the stretch.
All right. How many of those 5 do they get? Quick answer.
I'll say 2.
2 of the 5. All right. Would that be a good close in your opinion?
That would be very good if they can get 2 of those guys.
All right. Positions. Give me a couple of positions that Tennessee, they haven't done enough yet. They've got to finish strong at what spots?
You've got to start with the defensive line because they've missed out on Jay Hardy, because they've missed out on Trayvon Ripka, another in-state guy they've wanted and still might go after down the stretch. Because you've lost some of those battles, you've got to find a way to get some elite defensive linemen. Only 1 defensive lineman in this class right now, so Omari Thomas becomes more important. Octavius Oxendine from Kentucky. You've got to win a couple of those battles down the stretch to address a position that really they've had a hard time addressing the last couple of years.
I'm for anyone named Octavius Oxendine.
Yes.
Please, let that happen. All right, how was I going to put this one? Percentage chance. He's the apple of all fans' eyes. He's the key to this whole thing. Percentage chance Harrison Bailey winds up with the Vols.
I think at least 90%. I think there's a good chance Tennessee holds on to him. There's not been, now we'll say this, a couple months ago he sort of hinted there's a chance he might take some visits quietly, official visits that people would not know about. Now, I'm skeptical anytime I hear that because it's very tough to keep official visits quiet. But if that's happened, if he's looked around, maybe there's something we're not seeing right now. But aside from that, he's been pretty solid. And I think the way the quarterback situation has played out at Tennessee this year has probably helped their chances of holding on to him. It looks like an unstable situation where a freshman could come in and start.
Got some teammates going to LSU.
Yeah. LSU's got 2 quarterbacks in their class, so I don't think they're a big factor.
Bob, I put you in here because you brought this up to me this week. I know you wanted to throw it at her.
Yeah, it was just, following recruiting in the media, Tennessee gets a commitment from people and everybody goes nuts. Oh, man. Well, and this is specifically the lineman out of Texas, but it also one of the linebackers out of Tennessee that he came with the trio of guys.
Yeah.
When I look and see who else is recruiting these guys, and I see Tennessee needs a lot of help, it seems like you're giving some scholarships to some guys who, the lineman out of Texas, if I'm not mistaken, when Tennessee got the commitment, he was a 0-star guy.
Well, for rivals.
For some,
Yeah.
okay.
Shh, don't
For
mention
some.
the bad guys.
But you beat out UTEP and Liberty amongst your guys. That worry, as a fan, that worries me.
Yeah.
And you've had that from the Memphis guys. I mean,
The Memphis
Mississippi
guys.
State, Arkansas. It's not
You
exactly
know,
Alabama.
it wasn't like you went up. So is Tennessee taking what appears to be some lower-ranked guys because they don't think they're going to get more of these higher-ranked guys?
I think you have to recruit those guys on some level because you might not win all those battles. But I think on the whole, Tennessee is in enough of those battles and they're winning enough that they're not doing as bad as it might look. Now, I do think anytime you take a commitment like that from a guy with, where SMU is the main competition, sure, that's going to raise some concerns.
Which
in
is
people's
better
minds.
than Liberty.
Yeah. That's fair.
Lamar, I think, was after him as well.
Yeah. I can understand the concern there, but at the same time, I think Tennessee still, we talked about them battling with Alabama for Taiyu Jones-Bell. They've been battling with Georgia, Florida, on some guys earlier this year. They've been in enough big-time battles. The fair question is, are they winning enough of them? And at the end of the year,
Well,
we'll
see,
have to see.
that makes me think that maybe you're not winning them because you're getting guys, which doesn't mean that they're not going to be good football
could be
players
great
when they
players.
get here. Could be fantastic players.
But
It just worries you a little bit when you're getting guys and you're still in the battles for the 5 stars, but you'll go ahead and fill them out with some 3s and 2s. And
One thing to maybe keep in mind on the offensive lineman, though, he's got a teammate Tennessee recruited for months. Ty Jordan committed to Texas, a running back they've really wanted. Is that ultimately a play to try to get some sort of package deal there? We'll see, but they've had to make some decisions like that. The Memphis guys are a good example, taking 3 players. They like them all. Bryson Eason's the big fish there. They really wanted. Florida and LSU had offered him in addition to Arkansas. So some good players there, but to what extent do you really make a push and take some package deals and things like that to get the guys you really want?
And with the kid in Texas where you're recruiting somebody else, Arian Foster came to Tennessee that
Yeah.
way. Randy Sanders was out looking at somebody else
went
and
out,
said,
saw him, liked him,
Yeah.
and turned out to
And
be
it's
a great call.
and it's a 370-pound guy with some upside. So he's lost some weight, still might lose more.
But I agree with Bob, though. These last 5 commitments you've gotten, you look at who was after them, and it's a little different than early on in this year. You were fighting everybody with Alabama, Georgia, Florida.
Ohio
and now
State,
now it's
Michigan.
dropped down to where you're fighting against some other guys.
Liberty.
But
It's at the end of the day, it's all about evaluating. The previous staff hit some big fish that turned out to be not as good as they turned out. People thought they would be. Yeah, now you've got to hit on some of these guys if you are going to take them.
all right, when we come back, very good. Thank you. Sorry it was so rushed. When we come back, we're going to talk about Jarrett Garantano. Should Tennessee want him back for 2020? And also bowl prospects. Not what's the best bowl to go to. If you're looking at the 2 most probable bowls, most people, if you look at the matchups, what would be the best bowl for fans to watch? Come on back.